Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Krista and I am here to do some Celtic Reiki on you. Today is going to be for Aquarius season. If you've been following along, I've been doing a series of astrological videos in which I channel energy through Celtic Reiki that I feel goes with the traits of the astrological season we're in. We have just entered the Aquarius season, and so I'm going to share some astrological knowledge today, as well as some Celtic Reiki healing for this next month of Aquarius season. So Aquarius is approximately January 20th through February 18th. And Aquarius rules the 11th house. So there are 12 signs in this astrological wheel, each split into 12 equal pieces of pie. And Aquarius is the 11th sign, so it rules the 11th house. That doesn't mean that you have Aquarius in the 11th house. It just means that it is the ruler of that house. And the 11th house is responsible for a few things, but if we're going to use one keyword, I'm going to go ahead and say community. The 11th house is like your groups of friends, the communities that you belong to, the activist groups you belong to, any type of volunteering you do, any type of activism you do. It also rules technology. And so we're going to go ahead and just kind of wrap all those key thoughts into the idea of community. And every sign has a planetary ruler, and Aquarius in traditional astrology was ruled by Saturn, and in modern astrology is ruled by Uranus, because essentially astrology was founded before all of the planets were. So if you're following traditional astrology, you're using Saturn, but Saturn also rules Capricorn. If you're following modern astrology, you're using Uranus. I personally find Aquarius to be very much a mix of both, and so there are some schools of thought that give Aquarius two planetary rulers. I am one of those people. I believe Aquarius to be a mixture of Saturn and Uranus. This is because Saturn is the planet of rules, boundaries, restrictions, structures, just really like a set of code, like a code of rules. And Aquarius is that, but it goes one step or several steps further, really. So Capricorn being ruled by Saturn very much makes sense in terms of things just being ordered and structured and boundaried and whatnot. Aquarius is different than Capricorn because Aquarius is very innovative and inventive and marches to the beat of their own drum and is eccentric. And that is where Uranus comes in. Uranus is the planet of innovation and, again, marching to the beat of your own drum, doing things your own way, shaking things up. And for me, the simplest way to explain an Aquarius or the Aquarius sign with those two planetary rulers is Aquarius does like to have codes and rules and structures that they follow. However, it's their own individual ones that they have come up with. They like to take the rules of society, analyze it for themselves, decide what actually works and what doesn't, and then come up with their own set of structures to live life in their own terms. So it's rules, but it's their own rules, if that makes sense. So they are an air sign. We have, the four different elements that I've talked about, and Aquarius is air. And it is a fixed sign. So we've talked about the modalities with all of these other signs. So every sign has its own element. There are 4 elements. Every sign has its own modality. There are 3 modalities. So the first modality is cardinal. That's the first sign of every season. So that's Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. There's the fixed signs, which is the middle sign of each season. So we've got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And then we have mutable, which is the last sign of every season. So Aquarius is a fixed sign, so that is anchored, stable, grounded, unmoving, but it's also air, which is flexible and free flowing and intellectual and communicative. So this is like a very stable, grounded, secure form of flexibility and intelligence and kind of that free flowing air. In the videos that I've been doing, I've been giving like uh, and I've been giving analogies for each element along with their modality. So, like for instance, Aries is fire element, cardinal modality. Cardinal is that starting, initiating energy, and fire is fire. So, Aries is like the spark that starts the fire. And then Leo, as a fire sign, is fixed, but it's fire. So it's like that very strong, stable, beautifully contained, burning, showy campfire. And then Sagittarius, if you'll recall, if you watch that one, being mutable, which is flexible, free flowing, all over the place. And fire is like the forest fire. It's just this fire that you can't contain. Okay, so I've been doing it for the air signs as well. If you recall, Gemini was the first air sign. It is mutable. And so, mutable being flexible, free flowing, air being intelligent, communicative. Gemini was the smartphone because of, all of the information that can be found within it, and also the ability to communicate with other people through it. Libra was the two people talking on the phone, because Libra is also an air sign that's very communicative, but it's ruled by Venus, so it is very much about relationships and building relationships. So in this analogy of the phone, the Libra was the two people talking on the phone. So now Aquarius is the final air sign, and it is the modality of fixed. So each element has a different modality, making each sign different in its own way. And so if Aquarius is this like sturdy, stable, fixed air that is all about intelligence and communication, it is going to be basically the network that all of these phones are on, the thing that keeps everything running, especially since, again, the 11th house is about technology. Aquarius rules the 11th house. Aquarius has a lot to do with technology and innovation. It is the server or the network that it's all on. This is not my I have not come up with these analogies on my own, by the way. This was someone that I used to watch on TikTok who I always forget the name. And then I always have to put it in the description, but I'm going to try to remember it this time. Shoot, I can't. I'll put it in the description. Sorry, my brain fog is on fleek today. So I will put his handle in the description because I do not want to take credit for someone else's work. Okay, so moving on with Aquarius. So if Aquarius is fixed and stable, and it's air, which is about communication, Aquarius as a sign of that modality and that element coming together basically stabilizes ideas. It takes these really big inventive ideas and it makes something out of them. It makes them more concrete and structured. The archetype that I have given for the sign of Aquarius is the inventor or IT, someone in IT. The keyword, like if I have to choose one keyword trait of Aquarius, I'm going to go with innovative. Some famous Aquarians are Thomas Edison and Abe Lincoln. So if that gives you any kind of clue as to what an Aquarius is like, we have an inventor, and then we have a president who really kind of changed the status quo and went down in history as one of the more well-known ones for the changes he made. And then Aquarius is the middle of winter. So, the cardinal winter sign is Capricorn. The fixed winter sign is Aquarius, and the mutable winter sign is Pisces. And I'll be doing that video next month to complete this series. So, some traits, some Aquarius traits. I'm not saying everyone who is Aquarius has these traits. These are just traits of the sign of Aquarius, of the sign of the season. A lot of Aquarians will have these traits, but it isn't just about your sun sign. I've talked about this before. Your sun sign is the day you were born. It's where the sun was in the sky when you were born. So for a whole month, the sun is in Aquarius. There are different degrees. There are different planets making different angles that are impacting it. There is where the moon was. There is your rising sign, which is what you should be using for your horoscope, not your sun sign. So not every Aquarius is the same by any means, because there's so many different things going on in their chart. We all have every sign in our chart. We have different angles, planets in different houses, signs in different houses, different degrees. It's a whole thing. We're not going to get into it. All that to say, these are Aquarian traits that we are just looking at in terms of this season being Aquarius. Some have more positive connotations, some have more negative connotations. I'm not saying everyone is like this. It's just, it is what it is, right? We all have our pros and cons. So these are traits that we are either going to try to amplify or balance or maybe try to minimize. So with that being said, Aquarius traits are problem solvers, rebellious, independent, intellectual, humanitarian, aloof, technological, open-minded, unpredictable, analytical, easygoing, altruistic, detached, idealistic, unique, stubborn, logical, adaptable, and unconventional. So, with that being said, I have chosen an OM today that I feel represents the Aquarian traits that we want to amplify. I have chosen Gort, which is ivy. Here is the OM stave made from an ivy branch. And I will get more into what this symbol represents as I am working on you. I'll talk while I work so that you can kind of get an idea of why I chose that to go with Aquarius. But first, we are going to go ahead and get started with a bit of grounding and cleansing. So if you could please just take some deep breaths for me. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold at the top of the breath for a moment, and then let it out slowly through your mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You may either continue taking some more deep breaths if you feel like you need to, or you may return to normal breathing just whenever you're ready. And if you can, please just go ahead and get yourself as comfortable as possible, whether seated or lying down. I always prefer lying down for this, but wherever you're at, do whatever you're most comfortable with. And just begin to feel your body get very heavy, sinking into the surface that it's on. And the points where your body contacts the surface that it's on are points where your roots are going to grow out through you into the earth, connecting you, rooting you, and grounding you. And if possible, you're going to imagine these roots coming out of the bottom of your feet. And anywhere else your body is making contact with the ground. These roots connect with all the other roots in the earth of all the trees, helping bring you solid, secure, strong stable grounding into the earth so that you may receive the healing, cleansing, and protecting energies that Mother Earth is able to send you through this network of roots. And through these roots, you soak up all of those energies up into your body from bottom to top, all the way up and throughout, helping anchor you and ground you so that you may be protected and help receive the healing, cleansing, nurturing energy from Mother Earth. And take a couple more deep breaths at your own pace to fully settle into this groundedness. And you may return to normal breathing whenever you like. And today I'm going to use the amethyst wand to do some gentle cleansing, to make a little room for this Aquarius Celtic Reiki healing energy you will be receiving today. Removing any energies that are no longer serving you and are ready to be let go of. It's gentle, it's soothing. It's just kind of doing a light clearing, a light cleaning, just sweeping away anything that's taking up space that you are ready to let go of in order to create space for today's healing. Taking deep breaths is necessary if you feel anything being pulled up or pulled out that maybe feels a little bit heavier, harder. We're not trying to do anything that is too disruptive, but if anything does feel a little disruptive that's coming up, just show yourself gentle, loving compassion for the feelings you have around it, and lovingly send it on its way if it's ready to be cleared with this amethyst wand. And breathing through it deeply so that your nervous system knows that it's safe to relax. This is the only place you need to be, only thing you need to be doing. And you are safe, and you are held, and you are loved. Okay, one final gentle sweep down the body and out the bottom of the feet, giving all of this energy that you are letting go of to Mother Earth for her to transmute into energy that is positive and healthy and serves the highest good. Okay. And then beginning with the Reiki symbol, the Celtic Ogham Gort Ivy. So this has a few different things that it helps heal or helps you manifest. And some of them fit with Aquarius and some of them don't. So we're just going to focus on the aspects of this symbol that align with this Aquarius energy. So it helps you look at things with a new perspective, a new, unique perspective. Aquarius is always trying to find new, inventive, innovative ways to make things better. They're very open minded to new perspectives in order to learn and grow and increase the productivity and efficiency of the structures that they're building. This kind of helps open you to those new perspectives. It also helps manifest for the higher good of all, and it is really concerned with doing what's best for the collective. And that is a huge Aquarius trait. Like I said, the 11th house is about community and activism. Aquarius is the sign of power to the people. It is the sign of doing what's best for the collective, for the community. It is very focused on activism. And so this sign helps manifest what is best for the highest good of all. The wort, the ivy. It helps with enlightenment, seeing things from a higher picture, a higher enlightened state. Again, with Aquarius being so open minded and inventive and innovative and focused on making systems work their best and is very focused on the collective. This really helps with enlightenment and seeing things from a higher picture. This sign also helps calm and still the mind because Aquarius as a sign is very cool, calm, collected. It's more facts over feelings. It's more seeing things from a logical point of view. And this sign really encompasses the idea of calming and stilling the mind so that you are able to see things from that rational point of view. Gort also helps us find our place amongst people, community, society. And again, with this sign being about community and the collective and groups of friends and volunteer groups and any type of group of people we belong to, the court helps us find our place amongst the people and communities in the universe. And I'm going to put aside the clear quartz and just work with my fingers and hands for the symbol for a little bit. Gort helps you overcome obstacles, which, a big principle for Aquarius is, okay, it is always looking to improve the systems and structures. So it is always going to look for the smartest way to overcome obstacles in order to reach the goal. But it is very easygoing and inventive and free flowing. So it helps you change course if you find that that's necessary. So Gort not only helps overcome obstacles, but it makes you feel safe to go with the flow, and it helps you really just tap into wisdom. facts over feelings in order to make the progress that is needed. It also gives wisdom in social situations, which again, Aquarius being the ruler of the 11th house, community, groups of friends, etc. It is a very social house. And even though some of the things about Aquarius may seem like a little more introverted or antisocial, that's actually not the case. Aquarius is still a pretty socially minded sign, especially, again, being in charge of community and activism and volunteering and power to the collective. It is a very socially minded, socially conscious energy. So this helps, the Gort helps with wisdom in social situations. Gort. This sign also helps with compassion and acceptance of the human condition. Compassion wasn't necessarily a trait that I listed of Aquarius. Again, it's kind of a more detached, aloof, analytical sign. However, again, with the idea that it is also humanitarian, altruistic, very focused on the betterment of the collective. This idea of compassion and acceptance of the human condition really does kind of fall into line. And this is not me saying Aquarius can't be compassionate. It's just, not the first word that's used as a trait. Gort also helps you to let go and give freedom where it is needed. And probably more than any other sign, Aquarius is concerned with freedom. It is rebellious, it is independent, it can be detached, it's very unconventional. So freedom and independence is a huge portion of this, and the Gort allows us to let go, give space, allow freedom. It helps connect groups and communities. So that community and group aspect of Aquarius, it helps connect them, bringing people together for the higher good of everyone. And so those are all the properties of Gort that I found to be synonymous or complementary with the ideals of Aquarius. So I'm going to go in with this green fluorite wand and just do a little bit of removing some of the traits and energies of Aquarius season that maybe we want to let go of, and then to place and put in more of the traits that we want to focus on and adopt this season. So, first, things that maybe we could stand to pull back on a little or remove a little. Being aloof isn't necessarily considered one of the positive traits. So maybe pulling back a little on the aloofness. I'm not saying anyone that is aloof is wrong or a bad person, but just it is important for us to kind of show care and concern for others when it is healthy to do so. So just removing a little of that aloofness, a little of the unpredictability Sometimes unpredictability is okay, so I'm not removing it entirely, but things are so unpredictable in the collective right now. We probably need a little more of a balance of predictable right now. So just working to balance that out a little. Removing some of the stubbornness. It's good to be grounded. It's good to know yourself, to know your boundaries. Let's not be stubborn. Let's be open-minded to new perspectives. And taking away a little bit of that detached energy of Aquarius season. Sometimes it is healthy for us to detach a little bit, and so I'm not removing it entirely. However, becoming too detached or permanently detached and not being involved and focused the way we should be, especially when it comes to the activism and humanitarianism that Aquarius season provides. We only want to be detached to a point, and then we need to come back to it. We can't just avoid it forever. Some of the energies that I'd like to try to, not removing, but just maybe providing a little more balance with: rebellion. I know that for some may seem positive, for others may seem negative. I think it it definitely can be on both sides. We need a little good rebellion, we need to challenge the status quo in our activism of things that are happening that are not okay. But there's a point where it goes too far, a point where it's not going far enough. I'm using the green fluorite to kind of heal those rebellion ideals. The American Revolution, the Revolutionary War, was rebellion. I think we have to keep those things in mind. When we're living through rebellion, it can seem really hard, really disruptive, very unsafe as we're living through it. And it shakes us off our groundedness. But if you think about past rebellions in history that have turned out really helpful and great, you realize that they were needed at the time that they were done. And that is how I look at this ideal of rebellion. Going to do a balance of being analytical. It is good to be analytical, but we can't just be analytical. We do need to look at things from every point of view and to factor in feelings, emotions, sensitivities, compassion. So looking for a balance of that during this Aquarius season. And balancing being idealistic. It's great to be idealistic and go for this idealistic society or idea or project or whatever it is. But there are points where we have to face the reality and work with what we're given and accept what's happening in the moment and take it from there. So we can keep working towards that idealism. We just can't be blinded by it to where we aren't allowing ourselves to open our minds to doing what needs to be done in the moment. Okay, now for some of the Aquarius energies that I'm going to place more of. being a problem solver, being humanitarian, being open-minded, being altruistic, being adaptable, being unique, being adaptable and unconventional, and independent, and innovative and inventive. It is kind of paradoxical that this sign is very focused on independence and freedom while also being very focused on community and the collective. But those two things can exist hand in hand. Let's find that balance of those things existing hand in hand. And placing a final gort to kind of seal in the properties of the ivy that complement the traits of Aquarius season. Quart, quart, go ahead and take it. This was a lot to take in. This was a bit of a call to action. This one. Aquarius is a call to action, so take a few deep breaths to recenter your nervous system and integrate all of these ideas and energies and align with them in a very calm, cool, collected way. Because Aquarius is calm, cool, collected. It's got this. You've got this. And taking the black obsidian and sealing in and protecting these energies that we have worked with today, kind of protecting us from allowing some of the things we cleared that we're trying to let go of to sneak back in. And then also sealing in the positive energies we worked with and placed within ourselves today that we want to hang on to. And as you go through the next month, just trying to work with these Aquarian traits and principles in order to better serve our collective and your community and the groups of people in your life. Trying to tap into being altruistic, being a humanitarian, thinking of what's best for the collective, being inventive and innovative and analytical, and trying to improve those structures through a place of an open mind and higher perspective, with a bit of rebellion and independence, a lot of intellect, big open mind, a little bit of idealism, a little bit of unconventional wisdom. being easygoing, but having compassion for others. Looking at things from a new perspective and always trying to figure out ways to improve things. Looking at the current rules and structures and deciding what works, what doesn't, and where innovation and rebellion and analytics and hard work and idealism should come into play and change the status quo that isn't working for the collective, for the other 99%. And having the courage to be a part of that movement in the best way that you can, whatever way that you as an individual are capable of. Take another couple of deep, relaxing breaths. It's a bit more of a charged up energy that we are working with, so I just want to send you with a lot of calm, soothing, gentle, loving energy. So that you can go out into the world calm, cool, collected, and coming from a place of peace and love. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And I love it when you like and comment and engage. It really helps me out as a small time creator as I am trying to grow my channel. I appreciate you all so much for being here. And I am putting out videos every Monday. I'm working on putting out videos every week on Mondays. This one is an exception because I'm coordinating it with the beginning of Aquarius season, but on a regular basis, please come back and see what I've got going on that's new every Monday. All right, y'all, have a great day, great week, great Aquarius season, and take care of yourselves.